There were some huge results in the battle against relegation last weekend, with Watford, Brighton and Huddersfield all picking up wins that have moved them much closer to securing their Premier League status for another season. Huddersfield's 2-1 victory at West Brom leaves the Baggies 7 points from safety, looking likely to be relegated for the first time since 2009. Stoke and Swansea make up the bottom three, meaning there is a strong chance all three promoted sides could stay up for only the third time in Premier League history. With 10 games left for clubs to save their top-flight status, we have assessed the run-ins of the teams involved in the relegation battle. West Bromwich Albion, if losing at home to Huddersfield wasn't the final nail in the coffin for Alan Pardew's side, failure to win at Watford on Saturday would be. Back-to-back victories at the start of the season have masked just how bad West Brom's season has been. They have won just one of their 26 matches since then. With 3 of the top 5 still to play, we could be talking about one of the worst records in the Premier League era come the end of the season. Key game: Watford away on the 3rd of March. Premier League relegation scrap: who will survive and who faces the drop? Read more: Stoke City. While the Potters have improved since Paul Lambert's appointment, losing just one of their last 5 matches, draws won't be enough to stave off the drop. Their trip to Southampton on Saturday is huge, but the home game against an Everton side with little to play for a fortnight later is even bigger. With games against Manchester City and the 2 North London clubs either side of it, the match against Everton is likely to be a must-win encounter. That said, Stoke may back themselves to make a late charge. In their final 5 fixtures they face West Ham, Burnley, Crystal Palace and a potential winner-takes-all finale at Swansea. Key game: Everton at home on the 17th of March. Swansea City: they may have dropped back into the bottom 3 with a heavy defeat at Brighton at the weekend, but the fact Swansea aren't dead and buried already is testament to Carlos Carvalhal's impact. The club were at bottom of the table when he arrived, but now have a real chance of survival owing to some very winnable home games. They face West Ham, Southampton, Everton and Stoke in their last 5 home games, while trips to Huddersfield, West Brom and Bournemouth should give the fans genuine hope. Their season-defining game may well be left until the very last. Key game: Stoke at home on the 13th of May. Crystal Palace: the good news for Crystal Palace is that they end the season against the current bottom 2 and don't face a side from the top 5 in their final 6 games. The bad news is that is because they have just played and lost to Spurs and face Manchester United, Chelsea and Liverpool in March. Their trip to Huddersfield in the middle of March is massive, as is their string of 4 matches in April against mid-table sides. If they can pick up a few results against these clubs who may have nothing to play for, Bournemouth, Brighton, Watford and Leicester, then a win at Stoke in their penultimate game would likely see them avoid the scrap on the final day. Key game: Stoke away on 5 May. Newcastle fear John Joe Shelvey injury could jeopardise survival hopes. Read more: Southampton Manolo Gabbiadini's last-minute leveller at Burnley could be absolutely crucial to Saints' survival hopes, with some favourable fixtures to come before the beginning of April. Mauricio Pellegrino's side will need to pick up a decent haul from upcoming meetings with Stoke, Newcastle, Swansea and West Ham though, as they then travel to Arsenal before the visit of Chelsea. They have to host Manchester City on the final day, so will be desperate to be out of the picture by then, even if City will have already wrapped up the title. 3 matches against sides in mid-table beforehand will give Southampton real belief, and a win in their penultimate home game against local rivals Bournemouth would be a great way to secure their top-flight status for another year. Key game: Bournemouth at home on the 28th of April. Newcastle United: while the point Southampton saved at the weekend could yet save them, the 2 Newcastle dropped from a seemingly comfortable position at Bournemouth have left the Magpies in trouble. Their remaining home games are encouraging. They face 3 of the bottom 7, but they still have to visit Liverpool, Tottenham, and Chelsea. They go to Stamford Bridge on the final day when Chelsea are likely to be fighting for a place in the top 4, but if they win their next 2 home games, against Southampton and Huddersfield, they should be safe. Key game Huddersfield at home on the 31st of March. Huddersfield Town. It's hard to overstate just how crucial it was for Huddersfield to cling on to the 3 points at West Brom last weekend and pick up their second straight win. Those 6 points have taken off the pressure,